Right, so here we are, we're headed back in. I'm whispering because my guys are asleep and my two captains here. This boat is so great, this Viking 82C, that I'm doing 35 knots in 4 to 5 foot seas, passing up all the custom boats, and they're just sound asleep. That's how quiet it is in this enclosure that I put in with the air conditioning. So once again, the production boat beats the custom boat in the rough seas. We do it every time. We'll keep on doing it every time.
Nice car. What's the retail on one of those?
More than you can afford, pal.
What's going on, guys? We got a special episode with none other than Shane Guidry. Shane, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So Shane, you know a little bit about what we're going to talk about today. You've caused some ripples in the sport fishing scene. I think biggest news in a long time, and you're causing, some people to get upset, some people to be happy. I'm sure, Viking's very happy with the comments that you've made.
Yeah,
Pat Healy, I know you guys are buddies, right? I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off. Why is production better than custom, in your opinion?
Listen, for me, I own a lot of boats, right? From my smallest boat is a float boat, which is a bobati that I float for salmon, and it's only 18 feet long, to my largest commercial boat that I paid $150 million to build. That's 340 foot long. Look, so I have everything, in between. The production boat for me, and I've been on friends of mine's, custom boats, is in rough seas. They ride quite well because they're heavier. Now, listen, you're all going to slow down in rougher seas, right? That 4 to 5 is nothing for an 82 foot boat. 40 knots, you can do it. We do it all the time in 4 to 5 foot seas. We don't take an ass whipping. It rides great. What I like about the production boat is the service, right? They have commonality, right? So they may build a series of 12, and so it means they got 12 pumps are the same. They got 12 of this the same, 12 of that the same. So when you need something, they have it. And because they're such a big company, right? When you go to the factory, there's 2,000 people working there. When you need service, they're going to service you. So that's my huge thing about production boats. And then when you get to the inside of the boat, look, I've been on a lot of my friends' custom boats. There's just nothing done with yacht quality interior like to do at Viking. Now, look, I'm a big yacht owner, right? I own bigger yachts. I like the nicer things. I'm not just the guy that wants to go on this boat and fish. I also, when I'm in town, I like staying on my boat. My crew, I rent them a nice home or a nice condo, and I want to use my boat. My boat's for me, right? So me and my family and my friends, we like staying in luxury and comfort. That's what you get with this. But look, going back to the shitstorm that was set off last week, if you look at the post, I wasn't attacking anybody. I didn't, attack any particular boat or boat model or boat manufacturer. I was stating a fact, right? There was 11 boats that we passed up. We were cruising at 35 knots. We could have kicked it up to 40 all day long if we wanted, but we didn't. And I stated a fact that we passed them up, right? So At the end of the day, 1.9 million people viewed it, 30,000 people liked it, and 200 hated it. Because you got to break down the 200 that hated it. Of the 200 that hated it, who are they? In all likelihood, 50% of those are alcoholics that work on the back of a boat, because most of them that work on the back of those boats on the East Coast are alcoholics, and or some type of drug addict. So you got to wipe out that 100, right? So then you get, say, 50 of those that just families that working on those types of boats, working in those yards. And look, I apologize, right? I respect the fact that that's how they made their living. They grew up, and I'm happy for them. And then you get the few jackasses out there that have a social media account that have followers that have barely 2 quarters to rub together. Well, congratulations for getting those types of followers. But that doesn't matter to me, right? So I'm the kind of guy that didn't get where I'm at, not having thick skin. You don't get to the top of life and not be criticized the whole way to the top. You can't bother me.
Yeah,
I'm going to say what I want when I want to say it, because I'm going to state a fact. I'm going to state the truth. That day I passed up 11 boats. They happen to all be custom boats, and they went in the dust. That's just the way it is.
I get it. You recorded it and you put it on video, and it is what it is. It's just like you said. There's a few you would call them jackasses that kind of, got really upset about all this, which it is what it is. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like you said, it takes a lot to get to the top, and clearly you are at the top. You can go buy a custom boat if you want. You can go buy a production boat. You can buy all the boats you want. But, it's ultimately up to you, and your preference is production. And especially, being on a Viking, you've said it yourself, nothing raises fish like a Viking, right? So talking about that a little bit, how has your season been? How has things gone for you lately?
Yeah, we raised a lot of fish in Bermuda, and our hookup ratio was terrible. We raised 14 whites and 2 blues at the White Marlin Open, but our hookup ratio was terrible, right? So we're reevaluating what we're doing in the cockpit, but listening to everybody else, their hookup ratio was bad as well. So we're raising the fish. We just got to get the hook in them better.
Right. So there's something to say about Vikings in particular, though, in this regard, about raising fish and hooking up.
If you also look at the blue marlin tournaments in the Gulf of Mexico,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure a Viking boat won every one of them.
Well, there was a lot of Vikings that won, and that's what I was going to talk about. You got Rob Carmichael.
Same thing on the East Coast. You have more custom boats, you do Viking boats.
Right, but you had Rob Carmichael at the top with Lights Out. You had captain's Tyler Dufresne. You had Captain Blaine from the New Jersey Seabirds team, who Ken Hardgroder that owns that team.
The Viking boats took the top 3 spots where it matters, right? The most fish caught. Look, anybody can get a lucky fish. There were 2 lucky fish caught, 71 pounds, 72 pounds. That's a lucky fish. You got to decide. You fish for lucky fish or you fish for numbers. The guys that are capable of producing numbers, in my opinion, are much better than the guy that sat there and got the lucky fish.
Oh, I agree.
That's the way I see it. So
the top 3 boats
much better in the tournament.
Yeah, the top 3 boats were all Vikings. It was Remix, Lights Out, and the New Jersey team, the Seabirds. Taylor Jean, that's the boat. That's what it is.
Taylor Jean, yeah. They got a great team, and look, they got a good boat, raises fish. That's the thing about a Viking haul, right? So you produce, I'm making this up, 25, 72 Vikings, and one produces, they all produce, because they all have that, whatever that harmonic sound is that attracts fish to come take a look. It just works out great.
No, I agree, though. I agree. It's the Viking boats are phenomenal. Pat Healy does a phenomenal job. I'm sure you have a great relationship with Pat. What number Viking is this for you? You just upgraded, I think. Last time we spoke, you were upgrading.
Third Viking. Like Pat and I is discussing a 90 right now. But there's some things that I'd want to do different that would be more fitting to me. That he and I had a nice conversation about. That once the season slows down, we'll sit around the table at Palm Beach like we did the last time we did a deal in the 82, and we'll figure something out.
I'd love to see you in a 90. That would be crazy.
But let me be honest. Listen, I have nothing against custom boat building, right? The boat builders. I don't know any of them. Just what I know from my experience and what my eyeballs see, nothing raises fish like a Viking yacht. That's just a true statement. I'm the kind of guy that lives this life by always repeating the truth. Because if you always tell the truth, you never get caught in a lie, and you can repeat the same thing over and over because the truth is the truth at times.
Absolutely. No, that's the way it's supposed to be. 100%. Well, where are you headed right now, Shane?
I am going to spend the night at home because I've been gone for so long. And then tomorrow I'm headed to my camping ground now. I'm going to go shrimping Friday night. I'm going to go catch me some tuna and snapper and swordfish on Saturday out of Louisiana.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. I got to come join you sometime down there.
Anytime. Love to have you.
Thank you, Shane. Well, all right, man. I just wanted to catch up. I kind of wanted, I think it was time for the people to hear a little bit from Shane Guidry after everything that happened and went down. And I mean, man, I appreciate what you do for the sport fishing industry. I appreciate, your stance, and you're entitled to your opinion like everybody else is. And the guys that are out there making trouble for no reason, it's all stupid. We all, we're all in the one industry. We're all, here to do one thing, and that's to catch fish. And, whoever does it the best, may that best man win. But, what kind of boat you use is up to you. That's it.
Exactly. May the best man win. And at the end of the day, look, I'm only going to I'm going to state a fact. I'm not even going to give you my opinion. The fact that day is I passed up 11 custom boats. That's just a fact.
I love
I'm
it.
not saying there's not a faster boat than me. There are. I'm 82 foot long. Hell, that little wall hanger, I believe it's a little Spencer. It's got them jet engines in it. That thing's like a little rocket, but it ain't going to do it in 5 foot seas.
Right. Nope. Can't do it like you in 5 foot seas. 100%. Well, all right.
Anyway, stay tuned. More to come.
I can't wait to see. We'll be following along. Thanks, Shane.
Bye, Dave.